Hello, everyone. You may have heard that it's recommended for adults to get about 8 hours of sleep every night. But we're all busy, right? And sometimes we decide to sacrifice sleep in order to get things done or even just to relax. But after today, I hope you'll reconsider this approach. So we're all guilty of this, right? I mean, I can attest to many sleepless nights between medical training and having kids and all of that. But hopefully, after we talk today, all that will change. So, welcome to Connecting the Dots with Dr. Ashaye, a great place to be if you desire to take charge of your health so you can live fully while enjoying doing what you love. I'm your host, Lola Ashaye. I'm a double board certified family medicine and lifestyle medicine doctor and owner of In Touch Primary Care in Sugar Land, Texas. And I am so excited that you're here. If you're seeking a more proactive, more convenient, proactive approach to your healthcare, come join us. Check us out at www.intouchprimarycare.com. And remember, you can listen to this episode and all our other episodes on the In Touch Primary Care YouTube channel. Leave comments and please subscribe, and please share because you never know. It may make a huge difference for someone. All right. So as busy people, some of us parents of young kids, some of us caretakers, others with businesses or work or just life, sleep sometimes seems like a luxury, something that we get to do when we have time or when we're just so tired we cannot keep going. But is sleep just for rest? Well, it turns out that no, not at all. Sleep is so important, not just to rest, but it's also the way the body repairs itself. It's the way that the body is able to keep going, to function at its best capacity. So sleep is not just for rest. And if you look at our prior episodes, you will find more information about how sleep works. So if you get a chance, go ahead and look at our prior episodes about the importance of sleep. But for today, just briefly, when you don't get enough sleep, in terms of not enough time to sleep or the quality of sleep is disturbed, it actually affects your cortisol and glucose level. So that means that you're more at risk for metabolic disorders like diabetes, prediabetes. It affects your insulin sensitivity. So that means that you're not able to process the sugars, which is when you eat carbs, it's it breaks down into sugar. So you're no longer able to process that if you're not sleeping well. The other thing is that it also affects how much you eat. So when you don't sleep well, you actually eat more fat and carbs, and your cravings are affected. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. And that's because when you sleep, part of what happens is that your leptin levels, as you have leptin, which is secreted, which is a hormone that's secreted while you sleep. And when you're not getting enough of that, your leptin level is low. So you're craving more foods and more unhealthy foods. And people that don't sleep well end up increasing their calorie intake by up to 20%. And usually you're eating more refined carbs and higher fat foods. And it also increases your appetite because your leptin levels are low. So another reason why sleep is so important. That's why sleep is important for people that are maybe trying to lose weight. You want to also make sure that you're getting enough sleep. The other thing that sleep affects is actually your immunity. So when you're not getting enough sleep, you're more susceptible to getting sick. It can also increase the risk of heart disease because it affects your blood pressure. When you don't sleep, your blood pressure doesn't do the normal, it doesn't lower normally like it's supposed to while you sleep. So those are some reasons why sleep is so important. But like I said, you can go to our prior episodes and see more reasons there. So let's get some questions out of the way because I get some questions from people. And number one, how many hours of sleep is recommended for good health? Well, ideally, you want to get at least 7 hours of sleep. So at least 7 up to 8. So 7 to 8 is considered a good amount. less than 6 is considered too little, and more than 9 hours a night is considered too much. So the sweet spot for adults is 7 to 8 hours. Okay. Another question, is melatonin helpful for sleep? Well, melatonin is a hormone that your brain produces in response to darkness. So it's melatonin and light go very well hand in hand, and it helps with the timing of your circadian rhythm, which is basically what helps you wake up and fall asleep, amongst other things. And melatonin, when it's low, which can happen when it's suppressed by light, can make it hard for you you don't feel as sleepy when your melatonin levels are low. So by taking melatonin, and a lot of times there are melatonin supplements in many different forms, depending on what is causing problems with sleep, it could be helpful. So melatonin is not a fix for everybody. It's a fix when it's appropriate. So it's hard to say if it's going to fix, there needs to be some evaluation to determine whether melatonin will be helpful for you or not. So it's not just one size fits all type of thing. So melatonin, yes, you produce melatonin naturally yourself. If you want to increase your natural melatonin, what you do is you want to make sure that your room is dark. So if you need to get blackout curtains or whatever else you need to do to make sure your room is dark, because that's what increases your melatonin levels naturally. All right. Third questions. What about naps? Are they good for me? Well, a nap can be fine. It's just the timing and duration matter. So you want to take 30 minutes or less if you're going to nap. And if you're sleeping at night, if you don't work at night and you get to sleep at night, then you want to do that nap before 3 p.m. Okay, so naps are fine, but you want to make sure they're not too long, because then they can interfere with your nighttime sleep. And then you also want to make sure that you're doing it, early enough in the day, so that your adenosine levels, which is a hormone that helps to cause pressure, so that you can feel sleepy, is not too low, is not affected when you by taking too long of a nap or by napping too late. All right. So for those that are interested, so now you've heard, sleep is important. It's not just to rest. You don't have to. I know people that feel guilty about sleeping because they feel like they're being lazy. No, you need sleep. You need sleep. Sleep is important for your health. So if that's been you, now you can sleep and enjoy it. Okay. And you want to get, like I said, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So if you're motivated to improve your sleep, what are some things that you can do? So number one, you want to make your environment conducive for sleep. So that a lot of times, there's so many things you can do for this, but just a few things. Number one is shutting down the TV or computer, the blue light. So blue light really affects sleep, and exposure to blue light, even up to, just a small amount of blue light can affect your sleep quite a bit. So some ideas are keeping your phone or computer screens or TV outside of the room and using blackout curtains. And that's up to 2 hours before bedtime, so that your melatonin levels are not lowered, because like I said, that's what's going to help you be sleepy and fall asleep. So if you're having trouble falling asleep, you want to stay away from the phone, the TV, any blue light, all light as much as possible. Get dim lights and stay away from blue lights up to 2 hours before bedtime. Now, the way that happens, and we can talk about that, is blue light actually increases your heart rate, your blood pressure, your core body temperature, which are the opposite things that you want to happen when you're trying to fall asleep. Now, the other thing that can be helpful if you're having trouble with sleep is trying to stick to a schedule. So sometimes, people just kind of go to bed whenever, but trying to train your body like we do, if you've done sleep training for kids, we kind of do some kind of, pattern, they take their bath, they read a book, and then we put them down, they're relaxed, that sort of thing. That works for adults too. You can come up with a sleep regimen that works for you, and get your body into that habit of going to bed about the same time every night. And then even on the weekends, when you want to sleep in, try not to sleep in for longer than 1 hour past your ideal wake up time during the week, because when you go back and forth, it can affect your sleep. So if you're having trouble sleeping, that's another tip. Try to stick to a schedule. And then the last tip is coordinating your meals with your sleep schedule. So if you have trouble falling asleep, you want to try to eat at least 3 hours before bedtime. So that gives your body the best chance to relax prior to bed. If you're having trouble waking up too early, then and you want to sleep later, then you can eat 2 to 3 hours before bed, but try to eat a complex carbohydrate meal. So you eat something that has a little bit of a higher carb. Typically, for most people that don't have that trouble, problem, you can eat your carbs in the morning. But if you are having trouble with waking up too early, then you can shift your carbs to the nighttime, 2 to 3 hours before bed. So most people will want to avoid eating or snacking or anything up to 3 hours before bedtime, so that you are able to, you don't have any trouble falling asleep. So those are some tips. So remember, number one, make your environment conducive for sleep. Number two, try to stick to a schedule. And then number three, coordinate your meals with your sleep schedule. Those are some things that can help so that you can get a better quality sleep, and you can sleep for your the recommended 7 to 8 hours every night. And that's all I have for today. If you're in the Houston area and you're looking for a doctor to help you with your health goals, one that is proactive about your health, check us out at In Touch Primary Care. If you want to get to know us first, you can schedule a one-time detailed evaluation by selecting a per-visit visitor consultation. You can find more information about this on our website, which is www.intouchprimarycare.com. Remember, your health is too important to rush. It's too important to ignore. You need health to enjoy doing what you love. So prioritize your health today. And please share this episode, and remember to subscribe as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week at the same time, 2:15 p.m. on Connecting the Dots with Dr. Ashaye. Thank you.